Hi, friendos. We do be back, though. Oh, hey, how are you? Long time no talk. It's been a week. It's not really been crazy long, but it feels like it's been way longer. Hello. Hi. How is everyone doing? Mayor, oh my goodness, the 30 months. Sweet mother of all that is something. Oh my God, guys. Fifth, thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back, homie. Little Asia, thank you for the prime. What up, everybody? How we doing? Oh yeah, we're feeling a lot better. For those that are out of the loop or you have no idea what's going on, I was away for a few days, basically missed a week of stream. My wife's best friend celebrated a big birthday milestone, so we went with them. So we had a few days. Had a few. Oh my goodness. Angel Wakes, thank you for the 9 months. Holy moly, so many, dude. 6 foot, thank you for the 18 months. Nightwolf, thank you for the 4 months. Oh, 6 months, Atira. Excuse me, Nightwolf. Holy hell. Holy hell. Hi, Crow. Oh my goodness. Hi, Maddie. You guys are different. Jesus Christ. Kid Kat, thank you for the bits. Gamer Wolf, oh my God. Thank you for the tier 2. 6 months. Jesus Christ. Maggie, thank you for the prime. Faith. You're not getting one. I don't have one. We did eat hot dogs, though. Mama Lise, thank you for the 12 months at tier 1. Oh my goodness. Hi, guys. Hi. Hey, how are you? Hi. All right. Oh, it is good to see you all. It was a must. It was a must to do a surprise stream. So here we are. Disappointed? Hey, disappointed in what? What do you mean? What are you disappointed in, Matthew? Don't you start with me. Went to Vegas. Didn't invite me. Listen, that was out of my control. That was out of my control. When you hear how the trip was, it was awesome. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Me and Mrs. Flash got to spend a lot of time together, running around doing stuff, so that was awesome. I missed you guys, man. Kid Kat, thank you for the 3 months at tier 3. Oh, you creepy tier 3s. Gross. I know. Back and everything. It's weird. It's weird. Makes the week so much better. I've been having... Oh, Emily, I hope you feel better, friend. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So, hello. Slightly good to see you. Mini Weedy, hello. Hi. But yeah, we're back. So I'm excited to be back. Yeah, Mare said ew to me earlier, Roxy. She jumped the gun. Broken Nude, thank you for the 3 months. Oh my God. So many of you guys. Phantom, hello. Queso. Thank you for the prime. On our way back from the airport, we listened to the entire Inside album from him. Maddie, thank you. Oh my God, 39 months. We had no choice. We sing the entire damn thing. It was called When You Got Help. I know. It made me think of Roxy when you said ew to me. Hi, Sam. Good to see you. Hi, Teeny. Yes, I haven't done the weekly. I haven't been here, so obviously I couldn't do it. We normally do it on a Monday, and then I post it on a Tuesday. However, I wasn't home. So we're doing it today. We'll do it today. I'll post it tomorrow. That's the plan, Stan. Truly got me through that. We said that exact same thing yesterday, Alex. We said the exact same thing. Slacker, how dare you? Last time, Lord, thank you for the prime. We said if there was anything possible that was good that came out of that, it was that. It was that. You're behind. I know I'm behind. Just Jamie, hello, friend. All right, let me get Phasmo open here so we can get the things and the stuff, yeah? Yeah. But it's good to see you guys. Hello, friends. Level 6 hype train. And we have moved over. Jesus Christ. Twitch only? No, I'll probably be multiple. It just did the intro. I always just do here. Yeah, there's no point in doing this elsewhere. Yeah. Best tip for solo. When you're playing solo, make the best use of your time. One tip that I would always give, make sure... Vin, that's really funny. You put that right after Olive. Olive, thank you for the 27 months. Halogen, hello. Oh, sleep well, friend. To make really good use of your time, there's a reason that I always throw down my flashlight and anything whenever I am leaving the house and going to the truck, because it gives you 3 open spots to grab stuff and bring it back. A lot of people will just have whatever's in their hand. They just go back to the truck and then come back. You might as well make use of it. So as you're leaving, you don't need a flashlight to get to the truck. Drop all your crap at the door on the outside, inside, whatever, your choice. And then go get 3 more things and bring them back. Especially if you're playing solo, it will make things seem quicker for sure. You playing all night? Yeah. I'm playing Phaz all night for sure. Absolutely. How was the birthday? Her birthday was awesome. It was great. We obviously, when we travel, we just look for places to eat. We found a lot of good ones. There was, probably one of the best times for us. We were all dressed up. I had like a suit, and she had this really like beautiful dress on. And we weren't on the strip. We were away from that, in a really busy area near the Flamingo. And we stopped at some like single slice pizza joint and just stood at a table and ate. So that was great. The Michael Jackson one Cirque du Soleil experience. If I could give anyone advice, I would say you could probably avoid that one. It was weird. Like it. Thank you for the raid. Hello. Oh, hi, Glacius. Clay. Oh no. Clay, I am failing. Also, while I was gone, of course, our timing was just impeccable. While I was gone, some things happened with Midnight Society. We have some new members in Midnight Society, and I was away in the 120-degree heat in the midst of it. So Mr. Sir Glacius is one of the newest members of Midnight Society, and I'm super freaking pumped. Glay is hilarious. He is entertaining. He stomps it down like no other. But guys, make sure you go check out Glay. Please do. Misfit, thank you for the 9 months. Don't tell me to stop. Don't tell me. How the hell's the hype train still going? Good Lord. Thursday streams just what I needed. What's up, Green? Yes. And then Hattie, I'm sure, well, she does like marathon streams. She's a mad lady too. She was streaming earlier, but another new member of Midnight Society. Glay, we are honored, friend. You know we are. Mr. Rafa, hello, friend. I know Rafa's over here in 120 degrees, like, that's just a normal Tuesday. I saw in the news, some guy was like, I never thought I would see 120 in my lifetime. And we're standing in front of Caesars, like at that moment, like, it's really hot. Hey, Smelly, good to see you. Yeah, it was really hot. Yeah, it was pretty sucky out there. But luckily, a lot of the stuff we were doing was inside, so wasn't the worst. It could have been way worse. Splat, hello. All right, let's get to stepping. I had to restart the PC. I had to update all the things, so we should be good to rock. Did your shoes melt? No. Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked at the bottom of them. It's normal to you? Oh, like people choose to live in that. That is rough biz. Ay. Ball Morel, how are you, friend? Barely catch a stream. What's up, Cookie? It's 100 degrees. I'm dying. Yeah, I get hot really easily. Yeah, very, very easily. So me walking outside in like not me attire that's like a little bit on the nicer side. Yeah, it was really hot. You just got AC? How are you, Sassy? We stay indoors all day, dude. That's exactly what an Uber driver said. An Uber driver said the exact same thing. We're like, how do you guys deal with the heat? He's like, oh, we just stay inside. Well, what the hell? I don't want to just be locked indoors. You hate swamp ass? Yeah, me too. Give me no hello. I'm loading up Phas right now. That's what's going on. You get used to it when you stand out in the tech. I guess so, man. Maybe that's what it is. Master. Oh my, 51 months. Hi, friend. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess. Still, dude. Woof. Woof. Buzz your girlfriend. Woof. Just got AC. Guys, how do you do it? Initialized.
Job's ready for you.
What up, Miss Piggy? Am I doing a challenge? I'm doing the weekly. I haven't done it yet. When the weekly came out, I was not home, so I couldn't actually play it quite yet. So I'm about to do it now.
Looks like there are others out
The most
there who
annoying
can help.
for me, the Ure. That's just me though. That could be, you know, everybody's gonna have a ghost that sucks, is annoying. Yeah. 2 PCs in the room. Oh my god, that's true. Probably cooking. But you can do more cooking streams like that. Just cook it on top of the PC. Yeah. Is it? Hello. How are you, friend? Good to see you. All right. So what I need to do, well, I mean, it's gonna be the challenge, so it doesn't even matter about the equipment. Doesn't even matter. Percy, thank you for the 12 months. Oni? Oh, I don't mind Oni at all. Enjoy the vacation. It was great. We had a lot of really great times. We went to some cool shows. We went to go see, like I was talking about earlier, we saw the Michael Jackson 1 Cirque du Soleil thing. It was fine, but it was like, I don't know, we were really confused. There were certain parts that made zero sense, and we're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But we saw RuPaul's Drag Race live show. That was awesome. That was freaking cool. They're crazy. They were freaking crazy, and the host was hilarious. So freaking funny. But yeah, apparently all of the performers, the women that were there, they were actually on the show at some point, and one of them was like literally hosting one of them in Thailand or something. It's crazy. But one of the coolest things we saw was a show called Absinthe that is performed inside of like a circus tent. That was awesome. That was crazy. Craziness. Some lady pulled out her knockers. My wife got excited. It was great. All right, let's see here. Go here, go there. She really did. She really, really did. That's the first thing I hear when I join. Listen, we were in Vegas, okay? Listen. I think it's allowed. Listen. We also did very light gambling. Very light, just for fun. And it was a nice reassurance of like, I shouldn't gamble. And we just did like slot machines while we were having a drink and just hanging out, basically. Hi, Apocrypha. Hey, Lynn, hello. I'm listening. Go on. All right. What is the weekly? Okay, detectives only. Went in Vegas? Yeah, I guess we did watch some Vegas movies leading up to it so we could get in the mood. So we watched like Vegas Vacation. We watched The Hangover. I forget, there was a few more. Just for kicks. Just for kicks. Hey, what's up, Maddie? Okay. Stop. Every time you tab back in, it turns you over and it's annoying. Got the gold trophy. Nice. What's up, Ellen? Okay. Ocean's 11. Yes. Absolutely. Yep. What's up, DJ? Percent. Good to see you. Okay. I think we're ready. This week's challenge is detectives only. Put your detective skills to the test. This ghost is giving nothing away. This is at Edgefield for 5K. So let's see what our settings are, shall we? Let's go over here. Like we do every week. Mike has all the hookup for us. So we go to Mike's Discord to get this information, which is great. Please make sure to go give him some love and check all the stuffs and the things. Justin, thank you for 7 months. What is up, friend? Okay. So here it is. So for this challenge, it is 100% player speed, 100% ghost speed. We have a guaranteed Ouija board, which is super helpful. 0 evidence. This is our cup of tea. We like a 0 evidence run. I don't know if we'll be able to get it in 3, but we're sure going to try. So here is all of our stuff. Oh boy, we have everything. It's just all tier 1. So cool beans. All right, well, we'll see what we can do. This one, Mayor is going to be helping me. So Mayor is one knowledgeable bean. So that should be super helpful. All tier 1. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, it's all tier 1 equipment. If you haven't done it yet, I mean, it came out, on Sunday, like Sunday late for me, but I wasn't home, so I couldn't actually do it. You finished the challenge. Wasn't too bad. Nice. Oh, you know what? That was a really good point. Crap. It's already gone. It's already too late. Yeah, you're right. Did they not fix that yet? Because I'm sure that's the way that it was, but now that they've switched the UV to be, the glow stick is now tier 2, I guess, I don't know if they just haven't fixed this one yet or not. I don't know. Yep, it's a Goryo. I mean, if it's a Goryo, it just won't change rooms. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. How you test for a Goryo? It won't change rooms. They fixed it for 1 week. I know they fixed it for a couple. Yeah, I don't know about this one either, Mayor. All right, Mayor, I'm getting you the code now, friend. Okay. I think they changed it the other day after I completed it. Ah, okay. Okay. We shall see. It's your birthday tomorrow. Nice. Happy early birthday, friend. Hello.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Oh, hey, how are ya? How was your week?
Good, now that we have AC.
I didn't realize you guys didn't, and you're sitting there with 2 PCs in the same room.
Yeah, that's...
Good grief. I can't imagine. I mean, I have a fan next to me most of the time. Yeah, Halen, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a fan.
I'll pause this.
A large fan.
Just not
AC's
enough.
A lot better.
Yeah, AC is definitely better than blowing around hot air. Baked bean. Thank you for the 4 months. Let me check my audio. Push to talk. Good. Check. Okay, good. That works. Just making sure after all that crap from before. On your way to work. Oh, no worries, friend.
We don't need you to be on push to talk and getting us killed.
Listen, if it would have been like, hey, the system's ready, and then we did this, and yeah, I would get us killed. Why me? Lady Morgana, hello. Thank you for the 2 months. What was the result of the beta testing? Not good for me. Yeah, the ghost could hear me at all times. Yeah, it didn't prove to be a positive on my end of things. Now, I don't know about others if they experienced the same thing, but the ones that were testing, it's like it was just picking up my mic all the time. Yeah, so that sucked. So that was no fun. Okay, so let's see here. We'll go there. Do that. I'm just getting all the things ready, peeps. Just getting all the tings. Wasn't sure if they fixed it. Well, that's why it was beta testing. Yeah. That was the whole reason for the beta testing. Okay. That's good to go. That should be good. What's up, Evie? Welcome in. Fallen, how are you? Noki. What's up, Hunter? All right, to the weekly.
Yep,
Let's
ready.
do it a ting. Zero evidence. Should be a blasty blast. What badge is that? This is the Apocalypse 3 badge. It's supposed to be animated, so I don't know what the animated is actually going to look like. Yeah. All right, let's rock. Caitlin, hello. What's up, Mon? How are you? All right, Eric Holmes. Let's see.
It's foggy.
New intel. Reports of light
Ah, so they did fix it. Okay.
harmless, but be careful out there.
Yeah, so the photo I had, it's just because of the way that it was. It's still tier 1. It's just you don't have a glow stick. Now you have this guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess so. You're not going to get evidence anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much.
No.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to bring this and this. There we go. It is foggy. Ooh. We do have headlamps, though.
Yeah, what?
We have headlamps. I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah.
So we have tier 2
That's
of
the
that.
first thing I grabbed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I heard a fork. Aha. I did hear a fork. That was very
It threw a
specifically
ball,
called
too.
out, and it threw a ball at us. Okay. All right. So,
No orbs, so probably not a mimic.
okay. Faith alone. All right. I'm going to drop this here for now. I don't know where it is. There's the ball.
I'm gonna ask for the age.
Roger that. All right. Mayor's asking for the age to see if it's a possible Thay. I want. How much you want to bet if it's an EMF 5 ghost? We can still get EMF 5 here. I almost guarantee it. What's up, Vamp? I almost guarantee it. Let's do. Do I need a smudge right now? Well, you know what? I want to track it.
ghost is 52.
Did you say it's 52?
Yeah.
Okay. Roger that. Okay. Let's see. Did you walk in the salt? You did. Okay. Trying to see where it's cruising currently. It hasn't walked to that salt, so I know that it hasn't gone through there. Maybe I'll put one here. We'll go get more stuff. Oh, it's a Pulte? That'd be cool. Not a Wraith. No.
Oh, I walked through salt.
What up, Shade?
Not a wraith.
Yeah. We can go ahead and mark it down. We might as well now, because if I don't mark it down now, I'm going to forget. All right. I'm bringing more stuff in. Bringing you. A hunt is really going to help us. It's like I'm sitting here debating whether I want... Oh. All right.
I didn't
It was...
even see where it was.
Nope. It was over here somewhere. Oh, immediate whisper. Immediately. It's spicy. No evidence. It is, yeah, the challenge is literally no evidence. All right, so it looks like it's going back and forth from over there in the dining to over there in the hall. So what is the temp looking like? Did it do something to make that EMF go off?
I didn't see it. I'm not sure. And that something just got thrown.
There's another. Oh, this cross is about to go ham sandwich. All right, I'm gonna get a photo camera. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
I am suspicious. I am suspicious. No evidence is fun. It is fun. I would agree. You know what? I'm gonna grab one of these too. And one of these guys. One of those. Cross is gonna go to the back room. Yeah, seriously. Hey, you should show up and like be a phantom and stuff. That'd be cool. Hey, Brooke, welcome in.
I turned on a breaker.
Ooh, I see our breath now. Finally.
Yeah.
Is there news about console? No, not yet. Doing a quick little mayor check.
Yep.
Roger that. Hey, gear. Wow, footsteps are so loud. Hold on. Go there. Do that. Okay. Ghosty. Hello. Here. I'll be in your domain. Hey, Devin. It showed up once, and when it showed up, it was over there, and I couldn't see anything. I do, Coop. Hi, Miss Bro. Come on. Why are you just going all quiet? I mean, I'm gonna drop this. It's gonna show up. Watch. We might have to make it spicy. Bringing this back. Last time it immediately whispered at me. It's got performance anxiety. Oh. That's fair. That's fair. Hello? Yeah, I already am, Crow. Hi, Ellen. Thank you for the bits. You son of a... Okay, not a phantom.
Okay.
Got it. I got it real quick. Crimson, thank you for the 12 months. Back from vacation, yes. Hello? Dude, I'm about to... I'm so badly... I'm so close to... Never mind. It smooched me. Another whisper. Good gravy. Hi, Hales. Time is it for me? Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. It likes me a lot, yeah. Can you do like a banshee scream? That'd be sick. Hello? Gonna propose? I don't have a ring. What could I offer it? I don't have a ring. I could give it a shoe. Oh yeah, might as well. Yeah, why not? I'm pretty sure it just threw something with us in here, so that doesn't seem like a shade.
Yeah.
Do the honor test. Yeah, we're gonna do it now. All right, I have no flame, but I do have a smudge. Go in. Okay, dude, stop going. Okay, I'm really suspicious of a banshee. It keeps going after me. Hold on, I'm gonna go turn this on. Oh, you stinker! Mayor! What a turd! It's a freaking Dio. Take you for a walk. Fine, come on. Wants to play some music? Want to play some tunes? I am no longer suspicious of a banshee. Ay, ay, ay.
Or Dio.
Dio. Yeah. It's like, that's why I was like, I mean, maybe next time we could just make it hunt immediately. That could save time, but at the same time, then you can't do other tests.
Yeah.
Gifted a knife. All right. Got the Dio mark down. We did check for orbs, right? I think you did early. You did early. Yeah. Dio. Dude was slow. Dude was very slow. Yeah.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Nice, nice, nice. I will take it. Kashish. All right. Let's go back. Same thing. Let's rock. You died to a Dio once? I'm pretty sure I have to. Yeah. Muted, thank you for the prime. Chucky, thank you for the tier 1 for 5 months. What up, Crimson? Alrighty, let's go again. Go flash. Whoa. Well, I had a big lag spike. All right, we're good.
Yeah, foggy again.
Foggy again. It's not. I don't think it was supposed to be set for fog every time, is it?
No.
Yeah, I thought it was just random. Ghosty. How's vacation? It was very good. It was a blast. I'm super freaking glad the wife and I got to get away for a few days. It's not interacting with anything. Was that my breath? I think it was just a light. I think it was just a reflection. Joffrey, what's up, dude? Yeah, I know there's a Ouija board. We also don't want... What'd you say? But also using the Ouija board, you lose 50% of your sanity. If I can possibly hear it without having to use that, and then I save myself from dropping 50, I'd rather do that. Might be a basement ghost. I'm not hearing squat. Yeah. Listen, it is however you like to play it. I know some people that just want to get it over with and make
Also,
the ghost.
59 years old.
Ah, roger that. Just want to make it hunt immediately, hear the speed, start, you know, going about their business, start doing different. Oh, lockers are open, by the way. But yeah, when you get a ghost like this, it makes you want to use it because it's not doing a damn thing. A damn thing. What up, Matthew? It's not doing squiz not. Are you not doing anything because you're here? I'll be right back. I'm getting motion sensors. Kodiak, hello. Let's get motion sensors. What's up, Noid? Watch these for a sec. See if it moves around. Do you know if you open a door, you open a door? Bullshit. See, it's already open. Nothing. Unless it's hanging out in its room, wherever that may be. Life hack.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You down here, Stinky? Try to give you a knife. What is wrong with you? Emery, hello. Adrian, thank you for the follow. Dude. They forgot to put a ghost on this one. Have we turned on a light in a room where the shade is? That would suck. Ghost! Come on! Look, it's not cold enough here. Hi, Mr. Chingus! I'm gonna go look for things that are moved. Probably on the toilet. It probably is. Ghost, you pooping?
I think it might be here.
What'd you say?
I think it's in the dining room.
Really? Did you get Moshan?
I thought I saw the motion sensor go off.
I'm not seeing breath. The temps aren't going down enough. Could play hide and seek. Oh, there it is. Look, it is here. Unless, okay, this thought. What if it's like a stinky wraith and the reason we're not getting cold is because it keeps teleporting, or it's a stalking ghost or something like that? Remember, banshees can stalk out of the basement if it is in the basement.
Yeah, also I smudged, so we cleansed it.
Hey, but you know it's there though. That's what matters. I'll take it. Jade, hello. Oh my god, Ms. Pro, thank you, friend. What a stinker. That should be enough. Oh,
Did
what?
the motion again,
What
and
the?
Not a rate.
What kind of step is this? It went. Fault test. Yeah, it's not a freaking wraith. But it could still be a stalking ghost. OBS stream. OBS. Well, you're better, Adrian. You're gonna have better luck looking up YouTube videos than trying to get someone to like give you a tutorials, friend. Because there's people that have already made them. Rip your theory 20. Hey, we don't know. Okay, I kind of want to make this jerkhole hunt. But I could bring in some candles. We could do an Onryo 10. Hey, what up, Joe? Here, let's bring in 3 more of these guys. There we go. There we go. Give me you. Okay. Eat. Go. There you go. Getting my smudge. I'll bring this too. All right. Lighting. I should have brought a camera. It's too late for me. It's too late for me. Ghost tape. We know that you're here. Where's the thermometer? There it is. Again, unless it's like stalking from another room, but this floor is so small. Where would it be?
Right.
It hasn't done. It's interacted with nothing. Genghis, help. The temps, I mean, it's going down. Maybe not enough. This is ridiculous. What the fuck? Is it doing anything? These are going to burn out by the time that it returns home.
Yeah, it just isn't doing anything.
No, I'm so afraid. I need these to not completely burn if we're going to Onryo test. Okay. Check the fridge. Tier 130. Yeah, it's sorry. I hate it now. I really do. Challenge, yeah. Okay. Look, because now it's not even setting the motion sensors off. I'm going to the basement. I'm going to go to the basement. What if, like, what are the odds? You know? No. Look at the temps. Look at the temps. Look. Did they change the tier 1 thermo? Oh, yeah. Now it's not as accurate. It's random. Like it bounces around a lot more. I don't think it's down here. No way. No shot. No way. No shot. Nope.
Still not doing anything else.
Dude, what the f... Okay. I've turned every light off. Are you upstairs or downstairs? Are you in the garage?
I'm in the garage.
Okay. It just, yeah, it's walking here. I don't know what other information we have. It's setting those off. Time for a hunt test? I think so, man.
We are within hunting range.
What a jerk face. Jana, hello. Is it? Hold on. Is it walking over to you? Do you have a smudge? Mare. Are you the ghost?
What's up? Maybe.
I said, do you have a smudge?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have
cool.
a smudge.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen my breath at all.
Dude, is this the shadiest shade that ever did shade a shade? F these shoes. F them. F them. F them. F them. Mare, are you a yokoi?
Hasn't even tried walking over here.
No. Holy hell. I'm gonna go check our sanity.
Sounds good.
No, this is Patrick. I have 0 and you have 6. What if you were to walk out of that garage?
I went up.
Okay. Imagine it's upstairs, dude. How much would that suck? Just join what I miss. Us draining our sanity just by standing in the dark with a ghost that we have yet to hear an interaction from. Super shy. I might come upstairs too.
Maybe.
What? Here, I'm gonna come up here. Let's see, we can see the door from here.
Yeah.
Is that the problem? Are we at the neighbor's house?
Must not exist at all.
Or super. Oh, that's true. It could be. Yeah, what if it's like a Thay that we've just aged so much that it's now lying on the floor? It like passed out. Please.
It's 59
No.
when I checked.
Okay. I'm just gonna go break the board. Yeah. All right.
And then
Gonna
check
break the
for
board.
age just
Oh,
in
yeah, yeah.
case.
Yeah, we can do that. Dude, what the all right, I guess I'll take one and then do it. Watch it not even work. Dude, imagine. Oh my God. Maddie, thank you for 63 buds. It's got to be the wrong house. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Watch. Walk in, immediate hunt. What the f... Mayor.
Oh.
I just found breath. But it's still a pickle. This makes no sense. If it is a shade, how old's it now? Same age?
59.
Okay. If it is a shade, let's pretend that it is. We were not here. We were not here. We were all the way over there. Let me...
Yeah.
That door bugging out is freaking me out. What the hell? Hails, thank you for the 6 buds. Appreciate you, friend.
Has to be a shame.
But this, is it just following us around? Like this. Gonna make it haunt. Yeah, yeah. It finally went back to its room. I'm making it haunt.
Go.
Hide and seek. What the fuck? Very normal. The blinks look normal. Definitely not a yokai. Get out of here, Grandma. Go. F off. Am I crazy, or did that blink at the end there seem odd? That was a little spicy. A little spicy. Seem odd. I don't know why. Like, when it came through the first time, I thought like, oh, this is very normal. But that time when it got close to me, I was like, man, that seemed like it was invisible for a while. Yeah, but that makes no sense. I mean, we are sitting at 0 sanity and it's not hunting. Come on.
Right. I don't.
It is so
Shadiest of
dumb.
all.
Tell Vin he's right. Vin, you're right. It's dumb. All right, I'm going to get this. I'm going back in.
You want this much?
No, I'll be okay. Maybe. Well, we'll find out. Did it change? That's an event. Ooh, spicy. Confirmed. Roll out of shade. We have yet to have the ghost actually do an interaction. Here, give me the other. Holy shit. It finally did a thing. Oh my god. Give me you. Imagine if I did this and saw an orb. I'd be upset. He's... See, we can say shade all day, but nothing has happened to where I can say I could rule out a shade, other than the fact that it wasn't doing much. Question is, huh?
What took her so long?
I don't know. We're just gonna risk it for the biscuit. Still here. We're gonna be forced to go with shade. I would like to actually test it, but we can't because the ghost isn't staying anywhere. We all complained that shades weren't very shady. So they just turned it off. She is playing with me. She's toying with her food. Okay. Where is she right now? That's the real question. Lizzie, thank you for tier 3 for 21 months. What up, homie? They do love to tease, man. I would understand if it's not hunting because I'm in the same room with it. That makes perfect sense. But where is it right now? Real Slim Shady, yeah. Hey, Blue. Welcome back. Quesadilla, hello. I'm going to go over here and pray that it doesn't hunt me right here. Well, I mean, listen, dude, we've had demons that have acted like shades. That's why I like to test no evidence runs to verify. But I can't test it if Ghosty's going to be like this. Like, I understand if it's not hunting because I'm in the room with it. That wasn't you, was it? Oh, son of a bitch, it was you. You scared me. What up, Nelson? Alyssa, hello. Oh my God, silly blue cat. Dude, this is wild. Look at that thing. What's it doing? I mean, in theory, we're going to have to go shade and just leave. If anyone gets this ghost, God, I'm so sorry. Do another cursed object. Yeah, it's the Ouija board. We already made it hunt. Yeah. Dude, our ghost is so broken. What's that mirror?
Oh, I see my breath out in the hallway now.
What the fuck?
Yep.
What's wrong with that door? Yeah, it keeps bugging out. Look. Dude, what is happening? If we go shade and it's not a shade, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna go to the garage. Absolute troll. 100% troll. Put it under a bridge. It doesn't belong in here. Bridge map win. Watch me an Oni or something. That's why I said I was afraid, like, watch this be a stupid freaking phantom. This is ridiculous.
We just want to leave.
I kind of do. I'm going to go to leave and this thing's going to show up. Watch it. All right, here I go. Eee. Wow. Holy hell. I mean, we don't have a choice but to go shade and pray that it's not a broken ghost. The only, okay, can I see the smudge, please? I'm going to try to get it to hunt one more time.
Go for it.
All right. Spirit, bro. I don't know if there's anywhere to hide up here, but I'm gonna go up here. Snooze. I'm going as far away from it as I can. Mother? Normal. Shade is bugged with candles? What do you mean? Those blinks seem pretty normal. Yeah? We'll do one last orb sweep. Like, look at this. That's not a camera. I'm doing one last sweep. Normal blinkies? Yeah, this time it was.
Okay.
All right, I'm I'm getting a camera to go look and make sure. But that still wouldn't explain why the ghost isn't hunting. Like, we know that shades are supposed to be lower and all that jazz, but come on, man. Oh, now it wants to touch a door? Really?
I didn't want you to leave.
Come back. You're my only friends. Oh, my. Okay. Well, I guess we gotta go for it, man.
Yeah, it didn't want to do anything.
No, it didn't. Oh, my God. Okay. All right, let's go. Ghost just wants friends. Maybe that's why I was doing nothing. Like, maybe if I lure them in a little further, then everything will be better. Oh, my goodness.
Welcome back.
Wow.
Prepared some jobs for you.
Like, I didn't realize that they amplified the shade by like 50. I was not told. Now, let's see if the lies that is the details. Hold on. This is going to be absolute bull. It moved 58 things. 11 door touches. It says 73 interactions. Bull. Malarkey. That's hogwash. No way. No way.
Does that count? I was gonna say, does that count during hunts?
I don't think so. It changed favorite rooms 5 times. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Holy moly. Spirit, thank you for the 14 months. All right, well, F that shade. Let's go back and finish this. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We have to adjust our strategy on this one. Might have to adjust our strat.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
All right.
Set up before investigating.
For this one, we're going a little bit different.
There's been no reports of violence.
I'm making it hunt immediately.
Remain careful.
I'll ask the... Well, no. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'm just going to make it hunt. F it. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do this. Would a motel map be cool? I don't know about that. Hey, it's not fog, by the way. Okay. Instant spicy? Yeah. Let me see where the hiding is first. Let me see if we have some lockers. Might be a little bit safer than trying to hide. Nope. Than trying to hide over there in our corner. I can still try the corner, though. Hold on. Here, let's do this. Get the shoes out of there. No particular reason. Just F these shoes. That's all. I'm going to go get another smudge and then get the juice and then get it done.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do this while we're here. Funeral home map? Oh, man. The corner's betrayed you? I don't know. It's been good to me. It's treated me well. I know it'll be a deal. Have you heard anything from Ghosty yet?
I have not.
Either have I.
Well, now I know.
It was muffled. I heard that. All right. Well, was that in here or was that upstairs? That was upstairs, yeah?
Upstairs.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right, doing a TIG. Hide and seek. We have a smudge. We're at the ready. Let's do this. Normal. Pam? Are you okay? I smudged her. $105.30. All right. I smudged her at 105.30. Blinkies are normal, it looked like, and yeah, she was a crawler. Crawling ones are the worst. Well, when you're trying to watch them, they're definitely the worst. For sure. All right. So where did it start? It was here-ish.
Yeah, she vented on me in the hall.
Okay. Nothing's moved in here. Okay. Did it speed up when it saw you? I believe it did. I just think it didn't have a lot of room to do much else. So I'm gonna take these guys, go upstairs. It's so pretty. Look at the neighborhood. I have been now. Oh, did it just turn this light on?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Not a mayor. Roger that. Big bone, by the way.
No orb.
Kelsey, thank you for the 7 months. Let's put that. Oh, it's in the shelf. Oh, son of a bitch. I broke it. I broke it. Okay, I got it. We're fine. We're fine. Thursday? Yeah. Ure? Wait, why you say Ure? What happened? 90's over. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter too much because I don't think our sanity was low enough for it to matter. So that's okay. Oh, because I love Uri's. Oh, that's why. Okay. I wonder if it's tried to go downstairs yet. I'm going to go get more salt. It has not touched that salt at the top of the stairs, though.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye.
Interesting. Let's get this, get this. It's Horizon. It's making your connection bad. All right, if it's... Did I just hear a door touch?
Yeah.
I need the EMF reader. Where is the EMF reader? Did I bring it in here? No, I didn't. I left it in there. Recently got Phas. Nice. Nice. There we go. Oh, do I have an extra spot? Yeah, let's bring the camera. Collective sanity is at 43. Okay. Do have a feeling that it's gonna hunt very, very soon. Did I just hear it step in salt? Spirit would be over now. Was that spirit timer like just now? Have 0 viewers, wondering what it'll take? What, to get more viewers? I'll wait till the ads are done. This might be a spirit. Okay. We'll wait till the ads are done.
That was after 3 minutes.
That was after 3. Might be a spirate. Okay. Well, we'll smudge one more time then and try it just to see. More viewers. Make content on other platforms and then push the audience that you have there to watch you stream live. Go ask streamer time. Thanks, Pav. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't mind at all. I don't mind questions one bit. Mother effort. Yeah, of course. Dude, anytime. I don't know if I'm playing Willow next. Your location isn't going to sway me to play it, but I'm just letting you know. We'll go this way. What's going on? Nothing. We were going to test for spirit one more time. What the? That was weird. Pamela? Hello, pancakes. Smidge. All right, that was at 1:11:05. 1:11:05. Shut the door. Pam shut the door. She did. Yeah, I did. I might not have been close enough, but I did the walkie in the garage and she was here and she didn't come over to me. That was weird. It was super sus. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
1:11:05. Yeah. New to the game, any tips? Yeah, always know where you can hide, friend. Always know where you can hide. Can't get all the monies if you can't escape. Twins can change. Not during the hunt. With twins, it'll pick one speed for the hunt. How many evidence do you get? None. 0. What did I say? 1:11:05? Okay. 60 down, roger that. Yeah. If it starts hunting at 90, I'm going to be suspicious of a yokai or a mimic. But we'll see. No, we're doing the weekly literally right now, gamer fan. Yedding! Guitar, thank you for the 6 months. 90 down. Yeah, this might be a spirit. Might be a spirit. Or not. Is that faster? Wait a minute. That sounds normal. That sounds normal.
Definitely not a spirit.
Yeah, that was a bit under. Okay. Where do we think she's hunting from? Ooh, another smudge. Hey, Victoria.
Where do we have the crucifixes?
I have them up there in the hallway. Going in hot. I thought I had him in the hallway. Let's listen.
Yeah, there's one outside the closet I was hiding in.
Let's see. The bedroom in the corner, I think. That right there is super. That's super weird. Okay. I might need to do a yokai test from where Mare is. Oh, hi, Pam. Okay. For funsies. Yeah. Oh, she's getting spicy on the bed. What'd you say?
It's better than the last.
This is very true. Morgan! Okay. I'm gonna put our lives at risk. I'm gonna do yokai test right here.
Okay.
If you don't want to hide here, you don't have to. I just like I like doing the yokai test here.
It'll be fine.
Okay. Okay. I'll smudge though. I'll smudge.
Yeah.
What's a yokai test? So the yokai. Hold. Hold, please. Hold, please. Why do we? That's weird. Hold. This might be a yokai. I might need one more of those hunts. I'm awfully suspicious of a yokai right now. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. What's up, Zebra? All right. Got a flashlight over here. Why yokai? Because a normal ghost from here, this is roughly, let's see. It's about 5 meters-ish from there to there. If I'm using my voice, like using the walkie, a normal ghost should be able to hear me from there. But the yokai can't. So if the pathing of the ghost is good, and it's going back and forth down the hallway, I think it's a yokai. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. See, I was just ignoring us. All right. I'm down, Charlie Brown. Dracon, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Yeah.
At least it wasn't a Yuri.
Many, yeah, true. Many checks for yokai with the walkie, and it never once came over. So I'm down
No,
for
and
it.
we haven't seen any orbs.
No orbs at all. I'm cool with it. Hopefully the test worked. Hopefully it wasn't bugged, which it shouldn't have been. It should have been fine. So we'll see here in a sec. Let's go.
Job's ready for you.
Nicely done. Why? Okay. So the second hunt, the second investigation we had, I understand that it was a shade. I get it, but it was literally doing nothing. This one, it waited like 3 minutes to hunt. My only guess would be that our sanity was not actually low enough for it to hunt naturally.
More than likely.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Well, thank you, Mayor.
Thanks for the game.
Appreciate you, friend. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good old Mayor. We'll start the lobby over again. There we go.
Welcome
There
back.
we go.
Like for bed,
Definitely
job's for
yokai.
you.
Definitely yokai. We got it right. Yes, we did. What's up, Apple? Yeting. Thank you, friend. What's up, Mira? Maddie, how the hell are you, dude? So this weekly, since it's detective days, specifically made the ghost weird. Yeah, I guess, man. I guess. No more. Oh, I'm still going. Yeah, we're just done with the weekly. That's all. We're just done with the weekly. All right. So we now have upgrades. Start upgrading. Get some levels. Lighthouse? Oh, well, for sure. Play Point Hope. Absolutely. Of course. He missed us. Of course he'll play longer. Court, hello. Finally got the badge from there. Which one? Did they change how the monkey paw worked? Wish to see the ghost seem to not give me the visual events anymore. What do you mean? You mean you wished to see the ghost and your vision never went dark? Like at all? If your vision didn't go dark at all, yeah, that doesn't seem right, and that makes me want to test it. Excuse me. Did I not just do at all? Thank you. What the? They changed it. Did they actually? Did they change it? I don't remember seeing patch notes with that change. I thought that change wasn't in effect yet. I didn't think that was in effect yet. Can you ask a question? I mean, you just did. So, I mean, to be fair. I wish to see the ghost where the vision goes dark after the... Oh, did they? Oh, maybe it was in the patch notes and I forgot. We found a new place because Roxy, why would you do why would you do such a thing? Oh, interesting. We might have to try it then if we get the monkey paw. If we get the monkey paw. Fate! Thank you for the 21 months, huh, friend? It was an accident. Oh, sure. That's what they all say. Why do you hate the monkey paw? Listen, it sounds like a user error. Are you going to do a few farmhouses since they fixed them? What did they fix? On Bleasdale, they fixed the sound. What did they fix on Grafton? What up, T? Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. How are you? All right, let's go to Point Hope, man. Playing right now, the ghost is hunted about 3 times in 10 minutes on normal. I mean, sometimes it's RNG. Sometimes you'll get active ghosts, sometimes you won't. But hunted 3 times in 10 minutes, it depends on your sanity. It depends on a lot of different things. When was the last time I got the ghost wrong? Probably last stream. Yeah. All right, let's go to Point Hope. It's been a week since we've played normal games. So let's go do the thing. Do I see my breath? Son of a bitch. Audrey, welcome in. How are you? Look at this. Wait a minute. Didn't I buy and also upgrade? I'm confused why that's not the tier 3. And that's not the... Hold on. All right, we're going to come back. Hold on. How's the time with the wife? It was great. Had an amazing time with wife. What up, Dream? I'm confuzzlement. Hold on. Why were these things not upgraded? Yeah, look. Okay. Quick intermission, yeah. Any tips for finding the ghost on Point Hope? It's very hard with all the different floors. It really depends on what your equipment is. Sometimes the equipment really sucks. One suggestion I would have would be to get the power on so that way you can get a better difference in temperature for the rooms. If you're worried about your sanity going down, turn on the lights for the floor that you're checking on so it'll maintain your sanity better.
No report this time. Be careful. You're going in blind.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What up, Tash? Hi, friend. Happy Friday's Eve to you. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, how are you? There's another amazing new member of Midnight Society. Tash is amazing. Super freaking humble. I don't know why she wants to hang out with us. Do you like the tier 3 UV better than tier 2? I do. I do because I think I like how strong it is. I like how strong it is. Doing good. I'm good. What's up, Isaiah? Hi. All right, let's go. We have flashlight. Let's get you. Let's get you. Let's get you. Let's rock. Let's get some levels. I'm doing good. I'm doing swell, friend. I'm doing just swell. Why does it keep lagging randomly? Because we ain't played in a minute. Shower's open. Let's go. It's gonna be in here. I already know it. Go ahead, throw something, nerd. Do it. Stupid. All right, maybe not. Let's go find the power, actually. What up, fire? All right. Hiding? Yeah, let's go. Leave this on and we'll just make our way up a stairs. The urge to ring the bell. It's a good luck ring. It's a good luck ring. What up, Mitch? Nothing seems out of place. Oh, sweet. Crunch. Hemawari. Hey, how are you? Made it hard to find the ghost? No, you just got to make your way through the rooms. It's just like finding the ghost on any other building, in my opinion. Love the crunchy glass. Hey, are you oh, no. It's one of those kind of poo-ops. Oh, no. You good, bro? Shit. You know what really sucks? The power is even higher. Do I like the new map? I do. I like it a lot. I really, really do. Let's try. Oh my God. It sounded like a goddamn ghost gurgle. I brought you Bruce. All right, we can see our breath. You're spicy. You're active in here, that's for sure. Oh, and you're not a mayor. Oh no, it's gonna be too late for me. No, it's so far away. No. I want to check the lamp for UV. No. Here, keep this. Damn it. It's all right. We'll try to hurry. Summon the ghost with the cards. It's going to be really difficult with a circle. Damn it. Oh, Dream, I appreciate you, man. Mayor left. Yeah, Mayor's not here. It's just going to be harder now. All right, let's rock. Let's rock. Wonder if I can get the ghosty to hit the lamp. Oh, but I might not even have UV, honestly. So it might be kind of worthless. All right, we need you. I need you. I need you. And I definitely need you. Okay. We have EMF 5, so let's go ahead and mark it. Summon the ghost? No. No, circle sucks. All right, let's rock. I like, with the headlamp on, I like looking at the camera because it's very, very found footage. I love it. I dig it. I love it. Since when has there been a second flashlight? What do you mean? You have the tier 2 headlamp, if that's what you're saying. Oh, you know what we should have looked at? Oh, we still kind of could too. They opened up, what am I doing? They opened up Eventide, feedback. Crouch. So you can actually go to the Phasmo Discord and give feedback on what you think about it. Thank you, Yeting. No orbicals? Not like out here or anything, is it? Alright, I don't think so. Hey, you should turn the lamp on again. That'd be so cool. The ghost just farted. Damn it. Never mind. What the f was that? What did it just throw? Oh. See, that was neat. All right, I'm taking Bruce. Yeah, it did sound like water. The ghost room is not with the summoning circle. The ghost room is upstairs, and then the summoning circle is in the bathroom. Protect Bruce. I'm on it. PSHB, what's up, dude? Another shade. Shut your butt right now. I want to do the higher pitch. There you go. Thank you. Hattie! Hi, friend. Lovek! Beat him up. I'm on it. I'm going to throw Bruce at him. This is Bruce, Lovek. Look. This is Bruce. Oh, somebody else drew art and put it in the freaking Discord. Did you guys see the drawing someone did of Toe? It looks so good. Why are people so goddamn talented? He is majestic. Oh, you can't hear it in here, can we? Need a t-shirt design of Toe riding Bruce. There was someone yesterday who used two Bruces to communicate after he died. I love it. I love it. You saw it? Yeah, it looks so good. Where's Toe located? He's on Maple Lodge. If you go to Maple Lodge and you go to the reception cabin that's directly in front of you, he's right there next to the map. Yeah. He is quite a little elegant fellow. Yes, quite. All right, Ghosty Pants is in there. It's a Jin Shade Oni or twins. It's Nightmare, so I'm not going to get any more evidence, meaning that we now need to make it hunt. So use the circle, yes. Make it hunt as in summon it in the circle? No. Not going to happen. There's just no point. Because I would need to take more sanity to drain my sanity when I could just drain it using the circle. So we're just going to go drain it using the circle. Hasn't cut the power yet, so Jin is definitely up there. Okay. Maybe we'll just take a bunch of smudges. I need Cruci, I need Firelight, I need maybe I wait. We need you. We need you. Maybe I get those in there and I get one of these in there and then we do it. Let's do that. What was the circle like before the nerf? It didn't require you to have all of that sanity to light the circle. Right now you need 80. Welcome back, Hunter. Yeah, you need 80 sanity to completely light the circle. The smudges look odd. There are furry ice cream cones. So, unfortunate. Unfortunate. They want there to be a equal level of like consequence with the benefit that you can get. I don't know. Somebody circle. I don't feel it. All right, we're gonna pray that this stops Ghosty Shorts. You're eventually gonna hit that, so it's fine. You'll blow that out. That's cool. Truck Princess. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You do you, boo-boo. All right. I could just... Yeah, I think we're going to have to set up shop here. I think that's what we'll have to do. Stream until 12 tonight. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. TBD. It has yet to cut the power, so I'm very much so leaning toward the Jin right now. round. Depends on when the last round for you was. Got you out of the truck all game yesterday. Look at that. Oh, I should test to see if it's a gin because I think it's possibly a gin. I probably should. Toxic Tori. You're a wonderful friend. I appreciate you. Tori, it's a thing, man. It's what people do. Can you play pool? You can throw the pool ball into the pockets. Unfortunately, you can't get them back. Unfortunately. Okay. Gin Shade only twins. Tell you about it? No, I'm good. All right, let's go up here. Let's light this. So, draining our sanity. Definitely can hunt now. Get a smudgy. Okay, that's off. Good, good. Crucifix. Hey. All right, it might eat it again. I might just let it eat it. What was that noise? Can I? I don't know if it's gonna eat the crucifix or not. We'll use this to break line of sight. It's fine. Excuse you. Oh, that was you? Oh, okay. Hey, Guinea. Why did you summon it? I didn't. Okay. So I'm not worried about photos. It hasn't kicked the power. I really feel like this is a gin, man. I really does. Chip! What up, Chip? Super, how are you? Good to see you. All right, now it's actually going to hunt. So what I'm doing is I'm just prepping this floor and that floor. It's not a shade. Shut your butt. Good, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for the follow. How do you level up fast? You do very high multiplier games. Very high multiplier games. Do I have a small lamp? I do. We can use this to see if it's hunting. Question. No, thank you. Now it's hunting. That's slow, twin. That sounds slow. I'm pretty sure we have slow twin. She's trying to play pool too. All right. Well, it can't be a mimic, so that's basically the only way. Basically the only way. All right. Let's go back downstairs. Is that Pam? No, that's not Pam. That's Grandma. That's a Grandma. Now, what I don't understand, though, I don't understand. Well, I mean, I guess it's just being a weenie. But it has not kicked the power a single time. Granny Pam. It's Granny Pam. Not once. Not one time. Careful, SpongeBob. Is the twin curve patched? Oh, the twin curve that we used to be able to do on the activity board. No, when they changed the EMF and the back end, it completely effed that up. So we can't really test for that anymore. Well, you can't. You can use it to kind of guide you as a possibility, but I would not rely on it. Nice shark. Thank you. But yeah. Yeah. Not turn off the power a single time. Sawa, thank you for the 3-month prime. Hi, friend. Have I ever played Visage? I have. Mm-hmm. You still using it? It works? Yeah, I don't see it super often. But if I see a curve, I'm very careful about it, though. Yeah. All right. Do I care enough about a perfect game? You know, there's been a very big discussion internally between some of the official creators, especially talking about perfect game and photos and all that stuff. And it's been nice to see other people sharing the same opinion about how photos and the way they are right now. It's kind of stinky that well, realistically, like everybody wants to do the salt trick, even though it's not a trick. Just do the salt method, because what is the point in risking your perfect game for some random interaction that actually is a 2-star, or a ghost that ends up being a 1-star salt photo? You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a big discussion about that, wanting deleted photos to be added to the game. The fact that it's not added to the game yet is kind of sucky. But yeah, a big thing about the photos being that it was fun. It was enjoyable. Like it was entertaining, part of the ghost investigation, to try and get all these different photos, whether it's an interaction or the ghost, or it's literally anything, a door touch, like all these things. Why would you risk taking that photo if you're going for perfect games? You don't, because it's not worth it. So it's not worth the risk. So I understand their side of it, where they don't want to just make it as easy as possible. I totally understand that. But how long until we get the photo system reworked? I feel like it's going to be a long time. The 1-star ghost salt interactions killed me happy. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You get it all the way to the last photo, which you now need the ghost photo in the journal. And then if a salt pile is 1 foot in front of the ghost, it's now a salt photo, and all of your time you just spent is wasted. Passionate about photos and perfect games. I think you should be rewarded for doing a perfect game, but we're being rewarded for taking the easy road on some of that stuff, because why would you take the hard road? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. All right, we're going to go from this one. We'll go for another one. I'm pretty sold on twins, though. It should ruin the game if you're fat finger a photo on the floor. I don't know, man. I'm very, very mixed opinion about it. Yeah. Tweens. Tweens.
Ghost ready for you.
Nice. Igniter. Let's buy it. That's $750 Zippo. Incense. I'll put you back down to tier 1, because that's my jam. Pricey. It is pricey. How do you level up fast and fast? Play a lot. High multiplier games. It needs work? Yeah. Fishy Buns, hello, friend. Yeah, it needs a lot of work, man. Yep. All right. Let's go to Bleasdale. And then maybe after Bleasdale, we'll do a large map. It'd be cool, 1 photo each, but able to delete. Yeah, I don't know what the best method is. I'm sure that there is something there with deleting photos, how to make it work. I mean, the easy thing to do is allow us to delete photos. The better thing to do is improve the photo system. So they're going to improve the system, but we don't know when that's going to happen. So it's really hard to tell. How long have I been playing Phas? Like 3 years. It's been my mainstream game. Playing other horror games here or there, depending. Easy Weekly. It was okay. Our ghosts were very passive. Very, very passive. Okay. Lots of photos of salt. Yeah. Why do anything else? Ms. V, hello. Bleasdale. Yep. Apparently the audio was fixed in Bleasdale, so let's go see. Nellie Smith, Firelight 25, and capture a photo. Yeah, so I'm always questioning if I should try to go for a perfect game or not. I don't know. again, like everyone's saying, it's very mixed. Like I want to, but at the same time, it's like, is it worth throwing it away? It's like, well, if I do the salt, then I'm not throwing it away as much. You know? Goes to my fave. That would be the Mimic. No cards, thank God. Thank God. Alright, no music box. It's gonna be a shade. Shut up. What's up, Meg? If I don't have the ghost photo objective, then I go, yo, yeah, yep. Pretty spot on. If I had the ghost photo objective, I don't worry about perfect games at all. No, it's not worth spending the time on it. In my opinion. Yeah. What up, Ripley? Missed the streams, Ms. V. I appreciate you, friend. How are you? I know it's been a week. Shadiest shade that ever did shade. That ever did shade. See what cursed possession? No, I don't want to. Mrs. Scott. What do you think you're doing? Oh, thank you, friend. Jesus Christ. Is every hiding spot blocked? Now remember, if this is a banshee, it's in the attic, it can stalk us out of the attic. Bud. Okay, it's fine. Okay. I just want to make sure I had your approval. Nightmare, yeah. Probably do have a damn shade. Mother effer. Mother effer. Spicy. No, just a ghost isn't doing shit. Jesus, Pamela. You don't gotta prove me wrong and stuff. Damn, lady. Misery loves company. Well, I don't love her. she can get the hell out of here. Don't laugh at me, Cord. Pretty much only do ghost photos when I have dots as evidence. Yeah, that could be a good reason for going for it too. Yeah. What do I think they should add to the game? New ghost. My apologies, don't you dare. New ghost would be great. I don't want to play the game of saying I want a new map, new map, new map all the time. I think there's other things that can be added to the game that are not a new map that can really improve it. If they really dig the idea of doing like the weeklies, I think that we should get some more custom weeklies, like rotating playlists. Because that was one thing I suggested a long time ago, was like a rotating playlist of something sort of Call of Duty style, where like you have a certain time where you have a certain game style or like whatever play you can do for that amount of time. And it's special, it's different. You can only do it in this thing. The weeklies really are just custom game settings that are already done for you. So like, I think one of the examples that I gave was like, imagine a locked in challenge, but you're literally locked in. So like this door is locked, that door is locked, that door is locked. All of your equipment is right here laying on the ground for you or something, you know what I mean? Or on a table or some shit. And you can't leave until you've locked in your ghost type. And then you say, do you confirm? Yes, I do. Boom. The door unlocks and you can leave. You know? Mrs. Scott, thank you, friend. It was just an idea. It was just a thought. Language, English. Yeah. What you doing pooping in my sink? I think it'd be cool. Oh, I see you, little orbicle. Put you there. Make the wheel challenges actual challenge. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's been hundreds made. Hundreds made. I should turn that light off. Make a rare interaction at the high school where the ghostwriting can be activated on the typewriter. See, just like thinking outside the box like that. Just different things like that. I understand that they want to get to 1.0. I totally get it that they have plans. They know what they want to do. I understand. Unfortunately, the thought of console has just really sucked the life out of the game for a lot of people. Is there any ghosts you wish they never put in? You're right. They suck. I say that because it's my most common ghost. I hate it. I hate it. There's nothing special about it. It's a nerd. Shut up, Puck. Hey, Wesley, how are you? Welcome in. What matters is that it'll be done at some point. Yeah. I know. I'm not worried about the game being done. I'm just worried about continual content feeding into the game. That's all. That's all. Did something just happen and I missed it? The brightest orb. They've got, listen, the orbs are way better. Way better. Yeah, they used to not be as prominent. What would the new ghost do? We've talked about. Is that a fucking triple ghost orb? What am I looking at? What is this? Is it the angle? Yeah, it is. Look. It's because of like the RGB. It's literally separating it into 3 channels. It's a UFO. Interesting. All right. It's a triple ghost. Run. Hey, Mar, how are you? I was wondering if that was. I just noticed it. That was weird as shit. Okay. It's aliens. All right. I don't think we have dots. I don't think we have book. The triplets. That's the new ghost. Maybe they'd have to actually play the game a little more. I watched Lavender play today, and he died almost every time. That's kind of his MO. He dies a lot. Yeah, he dies a lot. No, I think they see the issues. I think it's just a matter of time and where their commitment is in the game at the moment when they're trying to get these things completed. Like, I understand again, the worst announcement the game has ever had was it's coming to console. That's the worst announcement this game has ever had, or the dev team has ever come out with. There's no doubt in my mind. Confirmed. 100%. It put the brakes on so much stuff. So much. Hi, Coda. All right, let's get more shite in there. Let's get you, and let's get you. Oh, I can't even take you. That's wonderful. PC should be the first. Well, yeah, you have a committed community that's here, but they're only committed so much. You know? I mean, even like you hear it coming from the official Kinetic partners. Like, we love this game to death. We want to see only the best for it. Anime Rider, thank you for the 2-month Prime. No writing. Roger that. Jocelyn! Oh, never mind. It's freezing. Let's go. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you angry? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? I never got to UV, did I? Son of bitch. Son of bitch. Gonna be a fungus. Wait, what? Watch it. Do you want me to like write it down and like put it on like a piece of paper and look at it? My penmanship's not very good. Oh, coming to console will be a great boost. It'll be amazing, but when is it happening? You know? You know? Little, thank you for the 15 months. Hello, friend. Okay. Let's get a UV. Let's get another smudge. And let's get a firelight. We need to get one of those blown out anyway, so it should be fine. Gamer Wolf! Thank you for the subs, friend. I appreciate you. Waiting forever for Faz to come to console. I know, man. I know. I know. There's so many people that are waiting. So many that are waiting. I dropped my firelight. Son of a bitch. Every time you try to play random with people, you get... Oh, I understand. I understand. You can always check out either my server. You can go see if anybody wants to play, or you can go check the official Phasmo server. Yeah, plenty of places you can find others to play with, friendo. No, I'm going to check for UV, because if I have UV, that means I have a mimic. Hello? Are you still streaming? I am, Halen. Yes. Yes. Gamer Wolf, thank you so much, friend. Hello? Oh, look, it shut the book. It can't be writing, but... Okay, we get it. Hey, can you touch a door or something? Oh, arm got cold all of a sudden. Thought Mimic was box. So, because I'm on Nightmare, I'm only going to get 2 pieces of evidence. So, I have orbs and freezing. These orbs might be fake. I wasn't getting Spirit Box, so that's why I'm thinking we check to see if we maybe get UV. Yeah, Casey, hello. Welcome. Okay, listen, easy. I don't think the ghostie's down for that. Hello, can you turn the light on or something? I don't want to have to go get more salt, but I will. Is salt a sure way of getting UV if it's an evidence? Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. It's the reason that that was changed to ultraviolet. Was to make life a little bit easier. Did you just turn this on and turn it off? So, like, the attic is a perfect example. You better chill your TTs. Hey, I'm gonna go get salt. This thing's being a butthole. Oh, Gamer Wolf, thank you for giving 6 months to Mar. Homie. I thought we guessed Mimic right the other day. We got played. Oh, no. Don't get played by the Mimake. No, we have orbs and freezing, so it's either one of these guys. Again, if I get ultraviolet, then we know what it is. Jocelyn, I'm a great friend. How are you? How do we join? Discord.gg/FlashForce. All right, let's get some salt. Let's go check. And let's bring another one of you. And I need a photo of you, but I don't know if I really care that much. Do I care that much? Yeah, maybe. I don't think they're going to add an RC car. Very, very unlikely. It's not actually Call of Duty. Mimic gets you 90% of the time. I love the Mimic. I love how uneasy it makes us feel. It's unpredictable, right? Thank you, Apocrypha. All right, so the only way this could be a mimic now would be if it's mimicking an Obake right now. That would be the only way. While we're here. Hey, do you want to show up by chance? You know, hello? Oh, now you touch the window. What a jerkhole. Oh, it kills you 90% of the time. Oh, roger that. Oh, no, Lodestar. That's like the 3rd time we've already heard it tonight. Hi, coach. Does it have pants? It hasn't shown itself yet. Any reason for using tier 2? Anything you see me using that's tier 2 is because I haven't upgraded to tier 3 yet. My level is not high enough. I'm level like 56, 7, maybe. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, just not high enough level. Ghost, we need a photo. You want me to like count you down? Would that make you feel better? What are the options? We have a Rev, Ure, Hantu, or Onryo. Definitely has not done a Ure ability. It's only blown out one fire. So, I mean, what I could do is this. I just walked in that other stall. We could do a quick Onryo test. I might not live to see the other end of it, but we could still try. Think it's a Rev. I don't know, man. Could be any of those options. I mean, it could just be a really stubborn, crappy Ure, for all we know. Oh, wait, you know what? Not today. Not today. Ghost's about to show up. I'm about to get a goddamn salt photo. No shot. Not happening. Think it's a Ure? I don't know, man. You know what I watched on the plane? I downloaded some stuff from I think it was on Netflix. Dracula. I've never seen that before. Like the show where it had like multiple episodes. Part of it's kind of brutal. All right, ready? One more time. Whales. Think of that 12-month Prime, friend. Can't clap right now because I'm on the edge. Surprise Thursday stream? Uh-huh. Okay. Unlikely to have an Onryo. Gonna lurk for sleeps. Thank you, Ms. V. Probably go ahead and cancel that one out. CJ said, gonna change the Ure and make it cause hallucinations, but I'm sure it'll take forever to see that. Yeah, we would need hallucinations. That's not till like horror 2.0, I think. Excuse me. All right. Well, if I want to drain my sanity, I have to go upstairs. Shut up. This is going to be so dicey. Saw that coming. Hey, interaction. Nice. Maybe in a year or two. I don't know, dude. Really hard to say at this point, right? Really, really hard to say how long it's going to take. It's so spicy. I don't think I have anywhere to hide. Possible Hantu. Maybe. It might be. Oh, I should test to see what ghost it is. I was thinking of just leaving. Do you always die to summoning circle? How do you escape it? Well, you need enough sanity to be able to light the circle. Is that the crucifix again? Yes. Okay. So now when it hunts, it's just going to legit hunt. I did find the bone. Yeah. I don't know if I'm worried about a perfect game necessarily, but if I want to be, I can be. The summoning circle, I don't know, man. I don't trust it. I really don't trust it at all. Because I feel like half the time I have enough sanity. Mel, I swear to God, I feel like half the time I have enough sanity, and then when I go to light the circle, it still automatically like hunts me from there because my sanity gets low enough. Because this is what can happen to you. You can be lighting the circle, your sanity gets low enough while you're lighting it to where the ghost can hunt. If the ghost starts hunting and then you finish lighting the circle, it's hunting the second that it goes in the circle and you're dead. And it's like, is it really worth trying this right now? Probably not. Had that happen super confused? Yeah. Fair enough. Absolutely. Like, why the hell would you know that? Yeah. Mel, hi, friend. Mayor's not a cheater. Thank you for the super gigantic glay. Thanks for the follows, guys. I appreciate you. Listen, Linda. Listen. I think it's a Hantu. I mean, a rat. Yeah, a Hantu. What? I don't hear it anymore. Did it go to the attic? It sounded like it was not slow enough to be a Revenant, and the only other ghost that's a different speed like that would be a Hantu. Everyone needs a giant clay. Fair. Hi, Tails. How are you? Mar! Thank you for the dono, dude. Appreciate you. Would tier 3 crucifix work for the summoning circle, I mean? You know, that's a really great question. It would take very precise testing, I think, to test what we're talking about right now. Like, where you finish, like the ghost is already hunting, but you finish lighting the circle to make it spawn in the circle. We might have to test that, man. That's actually a really good call. You know what I mean? Saving up for something. What do the different levels of smudge do? It's the speed. You can change the speed of the ghost. You can slow it down. And the smudge time also changes. God, it's so faint, man. Jank, I think for the prime. Yeah, if it's already hunting, in theory, it wouldn't work. Boom, 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 boom. It's a Hantu. It has to be. It would stop a cursed hunt, right? But do you hear what they're saying, though? It's a very good point that the hunt's already happening. You can only, the crucifix it stops a hunt from starting. It's not going to stop a hunt that has already begun. That's the question. What is the weekly? The weekly, what was it? The detective one. All right, I need a photo of Stinky, and I kind of would like it to just roam downstairs. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't think it's going to happen. Don't kill me. Come on, pancakes. Ew, it's hunched. What a response. Ew. It's hunched over. But look at that, though. Look at that, though. Almost on the last one. That was so close. I need one more. We might as well get it. Might as well get it. Confused Devil! Thank you for the raid. What's up, dude? Tanvir, no. Oh my, it creeps you out. That's fair. I mean, she is pretty creepy. She is pretty damn creepy. Here, we'll get some salt over there. Get another one of these guys over there. I have no idea where the bone is. What's up, homie? How was your stream? How was? My opinion on the Hantu? Oh, Hantus are great. Hantus are wonderful. Yeah, that's right. We got the bone earlier. So really I just need like a salt photo and we're good to go. Ready to rock. What's my favorite ghosty model? Ooh, what a question. First, it's the circle. It's not even worth going all the way up there for that. I might as well just have her walk in something. Yeah. Yeah. The Haunting of Hill House. I don't know if I have. Hey, Connie. Sound better? How you feel? Oh, way better. Oh, yeah, tons, miles better, friend. Oh, for sure. Thank you. Watching this at 5 a.m. I'm making it to play. Listen, you should go to bed. You shouldn't be here. All right, I think we have all we need. I'm gonna let it hunt again. Yeah, that's fine. Taking 3 smudges for 1 photo. That's funny. I don't remember judging the way that you play. See that shit? See that shit? You see this spicy? Ew. It's a crawler. Do I have enough smudges to just smudge you away? One was fine. All right. Go. Where's my camera, Pamela? There it is. Go. Watch out. Okay, there's all those. Got that. It's definitely a Hantu. And goodbye. And goodbye. Yeah, I don't have a tier 3 crucifix yet. Yeah, we're not there. We're not there yet. What is it? 90? Is it 90 you get the last item, which is the tier 3? Or is that not the last item? I don't remember now. I don't know. But we did get a perfect game with the ghosty photo that has to be in the journal. And we took the photo during a hunt, which is even better. Even better. I would very much so not recommend doing that. Trying to get the ghost photo that now has to be in the book during a hunt. I would really suggest you do it during an event. So that was risky, but it was a slower ghost. So I was like, well, I could probably outrun it. It's a Hantu. It's probably not going to catch up to me, so it's fine. And there we have it. I still don't agree with the change. I don't agree with the change because you can't delete photos yet. If you were able to delete photos, then I would be all for it has to be in the book. That's fine. But again, if you try to take a ghost photo and it's during an event and there's a pile of salt right in front of it, your perfect game is screwed. And you also don't get the ghost photo and you have to try again. Yeah. But we got it. Nice. Deleting photos would be amazing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. What's on my shelf? Things. There's a lot. It would take me a while. Yeah. Didn't they fix it? No, they broke it. No, they didn't fix anything. No. Thanks. Yeah, no. The thing they fixed, it's not really fixed, is the phantom thing, where you couldn't get a phantom to disappear after you filled the book. It was an oversight, but they said they fixed it. But I've heard countless people, including Tom, which I watched happen today. He took a photo of the phantom when his book was full. It did not disappear. It was a phantom. So do be careful, friends. Be careful. All right, I have ads to play, guys. We're going to go ahead and run them. I do 3 minutes of ads every hour, so that way we don't have any pre-rolls. Pre-rolls are what you see when you first join a stream if you don't have a sub or you don't have turbo. So I run them now so they don't happen in the middle of the game so you guys don't miss stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run them now. Go take a break, get a snack, go potty. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. That's what I eat before. Lena, hello. Didn't Tom have an actual ghost? Yeah. Oh, wait, no. An actual ghost picture? No. No, he did not have a picture of the ghost in his 10 photos at all. No. No worries, Halen. You're good, friend. How does the Prime sub thing work? When you link your Amazon Prime to Twitch, you get one free sub. You get one free sub. We're not dropping right now. Ah, fuck it. It's during ads. Oh, wait. During ads, I don't mind. Yeah. You can drop. It's fine. If I get Turbo, will it support you? So, I mean, Turbo supports a creator like a little bit. It does. So even though you don't watch ads, it still does support the streamer. It's just not a lot. That's why we always say, like, I say that whatever streams I'm watching, I have Turbo, so I don't have ads. I sub to them to support them. Thank you, Dream. Appreciate it, friend. Yeah, the drops only work once, guys, by the way. But yeah, how about this? If you win the drop, I'll let you choose what map I go to next. How about that? And it is on the purple side of things, by the way. Excuse me. Oh my. Oh my. All right, a minute 15 left. A minute 15. Boop, bop, beep, boop, up, boop, beep. Never close to the drops. I'm usually not. I'm usually not. Yeah, twice I think we've had hundreds. Is it twice ever? I think I've had hundreds here. I just realized my camera's in front of all that stuff. I'm gonna have to put it behind it. I forgot when we were adjusting it. Hey, Whiskey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Most of the time, I don't even... Listen, anytime I'm doing a drop inside of Tom's stream, anytime I ever drop in Tom's stream, I drop the goo emote. I try to hit him right in the head. Right in the face. My favorite map, Willow's my favorite map to play. Absolutely my favorite map to play. Hey, Alley Cat. Glad you're back to streaming. Distracted me from the heat here. Oh my gosh. Without power since Monday. Holy moly. Please stay safe. Stay safe, friend. If any of you guys are in the heat, holy shit, do I know what that feels like. I was there, but I don't live in it. I was just there in it for a few days. So I'm not going to pretend like I know as much as like Rafa, who frickin' lives in it. Mr. Cheebs! If anyone knows heat, it's Cheebs in Canada. That's right. It's so cold, it feels really hot. Chiba, Chiba, Chiba. How are you, friendo? Hey, Big, thanks for the follow, man. All right, who's winning? Zelda with 99.4. Holy moly. Boo, 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 boo. All right. Last ones, and then we'll move over away from the, because the ads are obviously done. How's it feel to be back? It feels nice. It's nice. Got back into the office or into my office and sat down and just rebooted everything back up. It was nice. It was super chill. Super chill. Not me sitting here with a fan, dude. So am I. So am I. Mr. Song! All right. Wait. Zelda. Zelda, what map am I playing? It is your choice, friend. It's 111 where you live. Yeah, it was 120 when I was in Vegas. Yeah, that sucked, man. That sucked. Mr. Song. 53 months. Holy shite. Crazy to think about how long is how much we've been through. Can't wait to see what the next 53 take us. I appreciate you so freaking much, Song. I love you, brother. I appreciate you, dude. It's raining there. Yeah, it was raining here too. Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of turbulence coming in. Our plane, I've never heard of this before. Our flight got delayed because it was so hot. Never heard of that. Shark cosplay, if we reach the goal, friend. Yeah, it was so hot we couldn't take off. That was news. Yeah. Yeah, hey Jennifer. Dude, yeah, that sucked. Do we know what map we're doing? If not, I'll let one of the, I'll pick somebody. They won and they went silent. How close are we to the goal? I had a button here and I don't know where it went. Taken off from where? I was in Vegas. Zelda didn't say. All right, Song, what map am I going to? We'll let Song choose. Song, where am I going? Had that happen once when you flew out of Dubai. Oh my God. VR, I'm going to try to test it soon. They apparently one of the updates recently was supposedly made it easier to run. So we'll see if it works. Yeah, Mr. Roadside. Sunny Fool, been a while. Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Where in the French toast? Mr. Roadie, how are you, friend? I had a button and it's gone. I don't know what I did. I must have replaced it with something. Classic. Classic. Son of a bitch. Here, I'll go back to this. This screen will tell us. Here. There we go. We are a fifth of the way there. Unlocking emotes isn't permanent. No. If unlocking emotes was a permanent thing, then getting emotes for subbing wouldn't be very much of a perk, you know? All right, Song wants me to play Sunny Meadows, so we're gonna go to Sunny Meadows. Let's do the thing. Super scary in VR. I've played in VR before. It's just been a while, that's all. It's been a minute.
Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly.
Does the tier 1, tier 2 paramite go through floors at only tier 3? I'm pretty sure it is only tier 3. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's only the tier 3. Nothing there, nothing there. Nothing there. That's not going to be helpful. It's the hallways, but it's fine. Always worth a look-see. Always worth a look-see. Know if there's any update. No, there's been nothing about console, Emily. No, they're working on it, dude. They're working on it. Check it. Thank you for the bits. First time being on the stream. Only watched the YouTube videos till now. Oh, well, I appreciate you being here, friend. Thank you. Hangman incoming. How dare you? We don't even know if I have cards. Great, I'm back. I know. Going for a week. Hype train butthole. Why would hype train mean butthole time? I don't even understand what that means. It is cards. God damn it. God, what are the odds of all these things happening right now? Then somebody said hanged man. I have not seen a hanged man card in a hot second. Don't pull a Tom. I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid. Is it cold in here? All right. I don't think it's here. Pull one. Oh, you guys are the worst, man. Tom got this earlier. People kept telling him to pull one card. It was the hanged man card. It was the hanged man card. Hey, Big, welcome in. I will pull one card. Do you understand me? A singular card. One. I'll get my crappy tower card and zippity-doo-dah on out of there. Okay? I was almost spot on with that. Also, question. Okay, I was like, that's not a full card because it's hunting, is it? I thought I heard the power get turned on. Full doesn't count. What do you mean? Did I? Okay, I did not. I thought I did. Am I hearing? Hold on. Maybe downstairs? Rig deck. Oh, because I pulled one hang. Okay. Okay. What's wrong with all of you? Ping, thank you for the sub. I blinked and didn't see it. Whatever. Jesus Christ, I was right, it's here. It's playing Tetris. You're walking your fish and you missed it. Classic mistake. Classic mistake. Hey, KJ. Seems fairly active. Ready for the speed. Dude, that's what I'm saying. All right, look. One regular card. Okay? One regular card. Okay, I really didn't want that because if you are a Thay and you hunt early, I'm in deep shit. I don't want that card right now. Bye. Love you. Kisses. That means it's there. So careful, SpongeBob. I think it just touched the door upstairs. You know what? Just in case. Give me you. Give me you. And give me... I have the UV. I don't even know what the room is yet. Thank you, Rage. I appreciate it, man. This is useless right now. Give me you. What up, Breezy? I think you touched this door. One of these doors. All right. I don't think we have phalanges. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Rhodey. Exactly what I'm thinking. Let's get the video camera. Mom, get the camera. And we'll go down there. I heard it. I heard it down there. Can you still do the Easter egg? Yeah. Pretty sure. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Yeah. Thank you guys for the hype train, man. Eventually, one of these days, I'm going to think of something to where if we ever beat the hype train record again, that we'll do something. I just don't know what that something would be. Ooh, we have hiding. Ooh, there's orbs. You better chill. Dress up like as Pam. Get out of here. I tell you what, well, I will put Pajama Pam as a cosplay incentive for what? I don't know. Love to know the lore behind the maps. Well, this one has more lore. This one actually does. Thomas the Train. Gotta get away. I mean, well, listen, if I did it, I would go full send. I wouldn't just half-ass it. If you cosplay as Pajama Pam, we need Epic and Chesney dressed up as Pam too. I know they've actually done it before already. Yeah. You ever play any other horror games? Yeah. Yeah, go check out my YouTube channel. Yep. Usually if I do play them, I make a video about it and post it. Full ass only. No half-assing. Roger that. Roger that. Hey, Mr. Kansas, how are you? Patient 07, yes. That's the lore that's here. Patient 07, exactly. Put the book down. Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Are you angry? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you angry? I never get that response. It's me, Jessica. Jinx didn't know Chesney cosplayed as Pam. Oh my god. I had Echo, I know. And it was me saying active killing. Uh-oh, did I just predict my future in this map? Talk to myself again, yeah. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Oh, thank you guys. Love the Echo on Sunny Meadows. I do too. Okay, so we have gravy. We have gravy. General Gravy, thank you for the raid. Hi, friend. How are you? We have this and we have this, by the way. That and that. Hello. How's it going? My nose is so itchy, dude. My allergies have been going like crazy. What do you think about the Mimic being able to switch the fake evidence it could give? I don't like that idea at all. No, I think that would be, I think that would be really, really trolly. Yeah. Doing all right. How about you? I'm good. Gravy's good. Gravy's very good. All right. We have orbs and spirit box. So I don't think we have an ultraviolet. We could try for freezing again. Make sure it's not a Mamaki. But also what we could do. Do I have a crucifix in that room already? We could risk it for the biscuit probably. So we're going to do an Onryo test as well. Switch all the time, just like instead of orbs this round or dots or well, that's what I'm saying is like if the Mimic was able to fake evidence. To grab a lighter. Oh no, I need to go back and get a smudge anyway. So I wasn't too stressed about it. If it was able to fake dots, if it's able to fake EMF 5, all that stuff. Like I understand the okay. I understand how like that could seem cool because it could always seem like it's a mimic. Just checking. Thank you, friend. But I like the way that it is. Be a little too difficult for the mimic to mock. Yeah, I don't know. Rage, thank you for the bits. Daydream, welcome in. All right, so now we get our smooge, and we're gonna get this, and we'll get that. I should have everything here. It does. Let's go. We're doing an Onryo test. Bruh. Came from TikTok. Well, welcome in, friend. Great to have you. Must be evidence it's easy to check. Well, it's not even that. Like, they gave the Mimic a trait, which was the orbs, right? And I really liked that idea. I really, really liked it. Walk of shame. Ah! My mouth was open. All right. What did I do with the other crucifix? It's right here. Put that there. Now, I do have a smudge at the ready. Okay. Just in case things go down. But for now, we'll do a 1, a 2, a 3. What mode? Nightmare. You have a breath mint for it? I don't think you want to put a breath mint up there. That's a big 10 no. Ugh. When will I play in VR? One of these days, Alice. One of these days. Fingers crossed. Mufasa? So, unfortunately... Well, no, I can still do the mirror test. Missed it by that much. Let's blow out candles. Yeah, but it didn't hunt. Here. Now, I could do... So these are very normal speed ghosties. The mare and the yokai. The only difference would be trying to do a yokai test. You can't do a mare test in the middle of a hunt. That doesn't work. But you can still do a mare test with the switches even though the power's not on. Even if the power's not on, the ghost cannot flip this switch up if it's a mare. Can't. Am I yokai? Not usually. What if I talk near you a lot? Yokais really hate that. So maybe we'll just sit here and talk to the ghost, ask it how it's doing. Hope you're having a lovely day. What the hell is that? Is that a secret door? What is this? Tell me your secrets. What are you? Oh, it's a picture frame. Oh, never mind. Hello, are you a yokai? Hello? Didn't look like a secret passageway. Look, secret tunnel. Where are you? Ghost. Hey. Stinky. I'll whistle you like a dog. Ghost. How cool would a secret tunnel be, though? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you far? Are you going to hunt? Hello? Hello? Okay, we get it. You like the door, nerd. Hunt. Do the tick. Mare, maybe. Ghosty, ghosty, ghosty. Secret door's cooler. I think it'd be cooler. Imagine. Like you press a button and all like in one of the like the books or some shit, and then all of a sudden a door pops up and you crouch to get in. Hello? Stinky. Uh-oh. All the evidence, yeah. Orbs, spirit box. Ghost. Hey. Are you angry? Hello? Where you at, bruh? Oh, we need to check for? Hold on. You mother... It all makes sense now. Freaking mimic. Son of bitch. That son of bitch. Probably was a Thay initially. Probably. Probably. Oh, sneaky snake. How you test for yokai? Distance with electronics and voice. Yeah. What a turd, man. All right. Well, it's a mimic, which is, I love mimics, but man, you've got to be really, really careful. Good thing you checked. Yeah. Got to be very careful. If this ghost decides, hey, this is my time to shine and turns into a wraith, and then I get moited, that would not be good. Motion and pair of bollocks. Always double check, always. So we'll get this guy. We'll get that guy. We'll take you. Mimic, wraith, boop, dead. Yeah. No, mimic, demon, boop, dead. We'll take the smudge. I think that's a smart idea. Let's take the smudge. Clearly sharing the brain cell today. Can mimics copy rev? The hunt speed? Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. I do have hiding right here if shit goes south. And also hiding right there. Probably one of the better natural hiding places ever, because I don't think I've ever died there before. What up, gamer kid? Ooh, I do have more cards. This is true. Thanks. Is this restricted? No, it's still full. To the door. Can't you hold 4 items? You can hold 4, including the lighter. So without the lighter, I still can only hold 3. Ghosty talked to us. Yeah, it had a chat. What's the game? Phasmophobia. CMAX 8. Have a going, friend. Give me you. Maybe. Okay, I just realized something else, too. Might be in deep dung. You know what? If you're going to go back downstairs, that means you're definitely going to walk through this shit. Okay. Put those there. Okay. Get you. We need to go find the bone. We need to go find the bone. Pain having to go up. Yeah, depending where the ghosty is. Oh, yeah, the new map especially. Oh, for sure. All right, guys. Are we going left or are we going right? Good luck, soldier. Left, right. A lot of lefts. Pull a card to decide. I don't think that's how that works. I'm fairly certain that's not going to help me in our bone endeavor. Guys. All right, we're on the switch. Worth a try? It's fair. All right. Oh, I probably should have gone the ways to look for power, but it's okay. It should be fine. Bone, we need you. Any advice to get better at the searching? What searching do you speak of? You mean to find the ghost, or do you mean to find the bone? This card's death card immediately. No, I would pull and it would be the damn hangman now. Yeah. Kangalos, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. You guys asked for this. It's your decision. Not to find the bone, but you know what I mean. On the YouTube shorts, been watching the videos. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hangman instant death. Hangman is absolutely instant death. That is factuals. Bone is in the female day room. Why you gotta say it like that? Why you gotta say it so confidently, Road? Why do you have to say it like you're probably right, Roadside? Okay. Nothing. Hangman's best card? Fair. I've only gotten the Hangman card like... I mean, honestly, it's less than 10 times. Way less than 10. Raising the roof! What up, homie? Have you checked your butthole? Skeet up, bot up. I don't know. I kind of want to go to the... I kind of want to go the opposite direction now to the other... the female wing, because... Imagine if Road was right. Imagine. What do you think about the new map? I think it's great, man. Yeah. Say what's up. Also check for juice while we're over here too. You guys are the ghost? I knew it. You know what? I never check here. You know, I also didn't check in here. We went straight for cards for the memes. And I never did a look-see. Never did a look-see. What's the challenge? Oh, it's just Nightmare. We're just trying to do full sunny Nightmare. Now I'm just going for a perfect run. Yep. Yep. What up, spoons? Power? You already know what the ghost is? Yes, we do. Yeah. We certainly do. Jody, thank you for the tier 1. What equipment do I think is underrated, overrated? Oh, God. I didn't think about it. I don't know. I don't know. Had to switch. Oh, raise the roof. I appreciate you, friend. All right. Oh, the bone is going to take 1,000,000 years. It's okay. We'll be fine. BP, what up, dude? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. In this time, we are looking for the damn bone. We're committed. We are committed. Doing a perfect run. We're trying. We're trying. Reach to 500 points. I mean, really, it's pretty easy to get to 500 channel points if you're watching. Really, those things were added to sort of help burn points. Well, if it mimics a Dio, we're okay. Because I have a smudge. I do have a smooge. So we are okay. What if there is no bone? Well, that would suck a lot. Test for a gen? I think that'd be a pretty stupid thing to do when I know it's a mimic. Are you just like Googling shit to ask about Fat? Chat GPT. Hey Tilly, what's up, dude? Welcome in. You ate it? You mother... Flash GPT. It's me, Jessica. Imagine if you passed the bone and you didn't see it. How dare you? What do you mean? Why would you say that? Bone! Where are you? This is so red, man. Holy hell. I am the bone. Checking. I'm even checking in the buckets, for God's sakes. Bruh. Bruh, indeed. Yeah. Bruh, bro. Broheim. Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody. Brotato chip. I know. Might be ketchup. I would like to think it is. I would like to think that it is. Is that bathtub dirty water? That bathtub can be whatever you want it to be. Now here's the unfortunate part. The ghost is over here. Nice and quiet. Finally. Chalky milk. Hey, you got any chalky milk? You want to go Taco Bell? You know what's funny? If I didn't go to the female side and I would have gone downstairs, we would have found it faster. Ew. I swore I saw a little bone in the day room, but maybe it's a weird light thing. Okay. We will see. I don't know if I've ever seen this room this empty before. Interesting. And you don't like the squishy room? Oh, I love the squishy room. It's my favy. It's my favy. We also haven't checked the center either. We have not looked in the center of the map. Upstairs. Wouldn't Ouija be nice right about now? Yeah. Lose 20% of your sanity instead of losing 50 now? Sheesh. Why are you this way, Apocrypha? Why are you this way? That made you jump? What do you mean that made you jump? Paddle rooms are your favorite. I like them too. I don't know if I've ever had a bone in one though. Hard water. Ugh. Wonder if it's over here with Pam. Pam, are you hiding the bone? Pamela. Pancakes. Do you have the bone? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is disturbing. What? Can I shut this door? No. I forget. Can you? Oh, you can. You can, right? Wait, who's Pam? That's Pam. Hi, Pam. Okay. Upstairs we go. I should hide in there. I've had a bone in here before. Don't want to get stuck in there. God forbid it turns into a Dio. I'm trapped in the damn stairwell. All right, to the middle. Yeah, kind of hard if the bone is, yeah, if especially if it's one of the smaller ones and it's on this one, because there's so much crap on the floor. So much crap. Ghosty, ghosty, where's your bone? Freaking working for it, dude. What up, Vertex? We are working for it. I bet the juice is over there in the freaking kitchen, the boiler room. If it's not in the center, double back the day room. Okay. Yeah, you said you thought you saw a little bone there. We will check for sure. Come on. Make road incorrect so that way it's up here, not over there. You'd forget it. No. I'm persistent. Ah, it is in the kitchen. Son of a bitch. Mother effer. Sorry, Road. You know what I mean. And make sure it's not out here or nothing. Okay. Now I checked these rooms, yes? I checked one of them at least. Difficulty? Nightmare. Have you tried asking the ghost to throw you a bone? To be fair, I have not. Come on, please just be up here. Please. Average wolf. Thank you, friend. Ask it to give me a hand. Hey. Throw me a frickin' bone here. Just doing some laundry. Give me a sec. Don't some of these doors open? No? I thought they did. Open! Do a Steam refresh. Clean his undies, that's right. The ghost can smell the fear. Imagine if you had to find the bone for the gold trophy. Oh, how awful would that be? There'd be a lot less people with it, that's for sure. All right, look around. Look, they have like every different type of pillow in here. Imagine. Oh, amazing! It hasn't hunted yet. It is a little weird. You're wearing perfume. It'll smell you. Is the ghost tied up? I don't think so. All right. Make our way over here. Watch, it's going to be next to the goddamn boiler. It's going to be next to the power. Place your bets. Sorry. Ghost left the building. That's fine. So, when did it turn the power on? Shovel. Longest game of hide and seek I've seen in a minute. What the Yeah, definitely not a Hantu, 100%. Imagine if it somehow would like go inside of one of these damn things. Oh, Road, I wonder if you're right. You've been around town. I've almost been through, I think, every room. Still believing in the day room? Okay. It's back there. That's effed. I think I just heard the ghost. All right. I think we've officially been in every room. Oh, not this one. All right, Rhodey. Let's go see if you're right. You said you thought you saw it in the day room, right? Which was it? Was it in the female day room you thought you saw it? You've officially... Oh, I've now officially walked past it. Yeah, for sure. Female day room? Okay. Because if it's not there, then I don't know. The bone's playing Marco Polo. Because another thing, too, you have to think about. You see this shit? It's hunting. The bone can spawn under that. Time off. See you, Inu. Where, Rhodey? Where? Where? I've learned from Dave, you have to throw pillows and bags sometimes. So frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, it can spawn under that stuff. I don't see it. Might have been the pages of the book. Oh, yeah, if it was like this, especially. Yeah, because look at the lines right there. It could have been. We might just have to deep search the rooms a little bit more. Rude. Very rude. Very, very rude. We've now officially been all over the map. Confident. I was so trusting in you because I'm like, I haven't found it. I have no clue where to look. We've looked everywhere. Now we really do got a bone to pick. I know. Trash the room like an 80s rock star. Hey, I was just watching the dirt on the airplane not too long ago. Oh, they left the bone in the van. Oh, well, shit. You didn't let anybody down. You didn't let anybody down. Look in the buckets. Look in the turlets. What if all of a sudden... I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a hitbox there where it won't even let it go fall down. But still, that would have been weird shit. Blame song. Yeah, that's true. He did choose the map. That is true. Hey, Shadow. Felt like you saw a skull and it blended in. Oh, okay. Listen, I'm down for all ideas right now. Song took it. Green mother. Just imagine I pick one of these up and it's underneath. Oh, that'd be so annoying. Now the ghost is hunting. Took in the ghost room. I thought we did. That sounds so windy. All right, we get it. Now we're looking on the beds. I mean, if you saw a skull, that's going to be really ridiculous that it just didn't stand out. New Phas mini game. Yeah. Nothing there. No. First I thought I saw something. I was like, imagine. Freaking imagine. Man, we're going to earn the shit out of this bone. Can a bone be in stuff? Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be underneath one of these. Because it's not going to have any sort of hitbox on it. Let's go way lower than that. Let's run. Run. We made it in. Nice. Hey, the power's still on. Okay. You thought you possibly saw something on the male side that might have been a skull that blended in with a bunch of other junk. I mean, stuff obviously not in here, skull-wise. Then someone says they saw it back on the other side. I know. Could you have picked it up earlier? No, we definitely didn't see it. I think if we would have seen it, we would have made a bigger deal about it. What's hunting now? What up, Jake? Don't be a Dio right now. Like, I'm not in the mood. We're going to find it. It's going to be somewhere I can't pick it up. How much you would have bet? That's weird. The switch looked like I made it go up, but it didn't make a noise. Daydream, thank you for the tier 1. Welcome in. Can't even touch those. Good. No, Phantom, as of right now, I think anything's worth a try. Did you thoroughly check the lobby? We'll have to go back and check. Watch. If it's sitting in the lobby, well, F us, I guess. Because we did kind of just charge into the map and start looking. I don't know if we did do like a decent search at the beginning. Oh, you saw a clock. I understand. I got you. I've had a bone back here before. Oh, that was the room you thought you saw something in. Okay. Guess we checked the stairwells. Yes, we did. I think what I might do is I might go back to the lobby. Yeah. Phasman, what's up, dude? Listen, if we found some crazy bone, I would feel way better than finding it, like, yeah, at the front desk or something. Oh, you sneaky bitch. I thought that was it. I was like, what is that? That's not it. Also walked past the ghost room where we were downstairs too. What do you mean? Okay. Didn't look in the room while I've been searching for the... Oh, in the ghost room, you mean? I thought we originally did. I mean, I could be wrong about that. Eyes are peeled. So are mine, man. Because usually you can do just a once over really quickly. Bone is standing out and it's right in your face, and then you're fine. You just keep going. It's like a spine or, you know, a skull or something, whatever. In the middle of like the room or somewhere where it's just easier to see. But then sometimes it just doesn't play out like that. Sometimes you get one that is like this. Let's go check the lobby. Mother effer. The jawbone is definitely hard to see. Is it mimicking Fast Twin? I know, Gwen. I know, same. I mean, really, we should have. Let's say F off, dude. Pick the wrong time. Let's go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. We're gonna find the bones sitting right here. You know we are. I know it. You know it. I thought that was it. I was like, mother. It was a smudge. We're not playing with viewers, Darth. Okay. This is some shit. Ay, ay, ay. Blowfish, how are you? Could be among the leaves. It could be anywhere, dude. It could be anywhere. Is it worth it? Put the thing down, flip it. We're gonna go check the ghost room. We're gonna go check the ghost room. I am so determined at this point. Yeah. I'm gonna take you. You. I've got camera, smudges, Ready to rock. Could it theoretically spawn on top of it? Well, if I recall, bones are supposed to spawn from the top down in the map, so they don't get stuck under things. You know? Check the courtyard. Yeah, we did. Technically, we've checked, I think, every room. The ghost room might be the only one we haven't. Thought you saw a scapula? Hmm. The sound is so weird. It's done. Okay. It's going to hunt again. This time what I might do is I'm gonna smudge it. Jesus Christ. $3.15, by the way. Okay. Pinky toes sitting in a corner. What if it's here? You're going to be in this ghost room, aren't you? I see no bone here. None. I will take this, though. I will take this. Mrs. Scott, thank you, friend. Got that for photo for later. Actually, different idea. Give me you. Give me you. Double checking the corners. Someone's hungry. Yeah, we gave it a snack. Figured it was the appropriate thing to do. But I have 10 photos right there. It's coming. Now we need to double check the goddamn leaves. Going crazy trying to look at every nook and cranny, dude. I know. Oh, it's a book. Ads are about to start. You're not going to miss anything other than me looking for the bone. I think I blinked in the last 10 minutes. Dude, we've searched everywhere. Imagine if it's somewhere obvious and everyone's blind. But where? Where have we not looked? Is that a leaf? Yeah, these things. Yeah, these are leaves. Yeah. Looked in the infirmary. Yeah, we've checked every... Yeah, we've checked every single room. The only thing, you know what we have not done, which would be just absolutely obnoxious? We haven't picked up all of the suitcases and shit in the other rooms. Obnoxious. Double check the left divider in the lobby as you enter the building. Left divider in the lobby. Okay, I know what you mean. Throw beneath a bag. I know, but in a way, I would almost want it to be, because then I'd know like it's ridiculous that it's in that spot. You know. Cut to the courtyard earlier. Yeah, we did. We did. I made sure to check every last room around the courtyard. We did. Oh. Invested. Dude, I'm invested. Something bone-like was against the wall near the lobby. Okay. We will verify. Had the Ouija board tell us that the bone was in the security, the teeny room attached to visitation? Searched for 40 minutes, never found it. Like, what the fuck? Well, I had the one time here where it said that it was in the bathroom, and it wasn't. It was in the stairwell. Okay. Oh. We might have to call it, man. As much as I wanted to try, like... This was another thing that's not supposed to be part of a perfect game, by the way. The bone. It's a ghost. It's invisible. It's a ghost bone. Check the stats. Oh, we'll 100% look to see where the hell it's supposed to be. Because then I'm going to have to go back through footage and try to find this goddamn thing. If I remember correctly, Mel had one here where she couldn't pick it up. Magic's actually bugged. Yeah, I know. And then we're just going nuts for no reason. We found the bone. Hey guys, look. The bone that matches the color and tone of the paper and trash that's on the floor. Yeah, so when we looked in the room, we probably went like this, or like we're over here like this. Rage, thank you for the bits. I appreciate you. Thank you for more bits, friend. I appreciate you. Is that a Dio? No. No. I think it's mimicking a Hantu. Holy Dickens. It's so pissed we found the bone. It's like my secrets. My secrets. Shut up. Run away. Run. Oh my God, man. Oh. Pick up the bone. Yes. Confirmed. Ate it and everything. Good Lord. We searched the entire goddamn map. But I'm not crazy though, because not one single person saw that bone. Noticed the bone. And it was a mimic too, man. Where was the bone? The bone was inside of this little room right here. But it was right next to a big pile of papers. Yeah. Joseph Straven. How long did it take? As depressing as it is, we're going to see how long it took. It blended in absolutely perfect. Yes. If it would have been a larger bone, we would have noticed it. But because of the size of the bone and where it was, We were in there for at least 2 minutes. That's confirmed. Yes. But we got sound sensors, though. Detailed statistics. I feel better about me, you know? I feel better knowing that we did it. We got it, okay? Time in the dark, 53 minutes. F that light. I don't need no stinking light. We're fine. How many times did the ghost change ghosts? It changed what it was 55 times. So the mimic's ability is the ability to mimic other ghosts. Their abilities, their traits. It can't mimic evidence, but it can change what it like. It can go from being a revenant one hunt to being a Ure in the next one, you know? It changed what it was 55 times. Yeah. Yeah. $517 interactions. Not do high school. F you. Absolutely not. Okay. It is almost midnight for me. I do have work in the morning. So I think we're going to call it there, friends. That's going to be the end of our rope. The end of our rope. But thank you guys for chilling with me. I appreciate it. Tiki Tax, as always, thank you for the love and the hangouts, friends. Thank you for the gifts and the follows. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you. I'll be live again tomorrow. Today, now, technically. But yeah, let's go find someone to raid. Yeah, I will be live again tomorrow. This was a surprise stream. This was oh, hey, he's live. But if you guys are not already in the Discord's there. The rest of the socials are there. Let's go find where we're going, yeah? Yeah, we weren't supposed to be live tonight, but I've been gone for a week. I figured why not, man? Why not? But thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the raids. Always appreciate the love. Very awesome. Welcome back. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see, friends. Going on vacation tomorrow. Ooh, have a great 2 weeks, friend. All right. Let us see. I can now consider this tomorrow's stream. Yes, technically 1 minute into it. Yeah. But thank you guys. I appreciate you. I'll make sure to get the weekly video up. I'll probably spend lunch finishing that up and everything. Going to London next week. Ew. That's freaking awesome. All right. You know where we're going to go? This is where we're going to go. Let's see. Let's see. All right. They are currently okay. If you are not subbed, there's a raid command for you. If you are subbed, there you go. Creepy little tier 3s. That's for you. We're going to go say hi to a friendo. We're going to go say hi to Croster, who is playing Chain Together with Sparkle. Who are they playing with? Is there 4 of them? Oh, there's 4 of them. Oh my God. Absolute chaos. They're doing Chain Together with 4 people. So we're going to go say hi to Crow. It's Break of Daylight, Kitten Kills, Sparkle, and they're with Crow. So we're going to go say hi to Crow. One last time. If you guys are not subbed, if you guys are subbed. But yeah, they're at the part, if you guys remember when I played, they're at the part where me, Tater, and Evie kept getting stuck. because it takes one person to not catch it correctly to be a pain in the ass. That's where they are right now. They are at that spot as we speak. So let's go give some love and hopefully relieve some annoyance of what's happening with these spinning containers. But thank you guys again, man. I appreciate you. I know I was gone for a week. I know we're almost halfway through the month, but I will be live again tomorrow. We'll do more Phas. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a plan for tomorrow or not. Like, as in, I was just going to play Nightmare, No Evidence, all that jazz, but I don't know. I think we're going to come up with something better than that. So, all right, friends, let's go say hi to Crow. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Again, one last time, Discord, rest of the socials. If you're not already subbed to the YouTube and you want to catch videos, that's where you'll find them. Either that or TikTok. Yeah. Thank you, Mel. Appreciate you, friend. But yes, everybody get some sleeps or have an awesome day. I will talk to you tomorrow for more fun. Much love.